9 months in, and is Chicago still doing better than most of the country in home sales? I'm Scott Curcio from Baird Real Estate, and I have got your third quarter market report coming up now. The short answer is yes, we are. You hear the news articles all over the place that we've seen a return to buyers markets in a lot of the coastal markets. There very well may be that ahead for us, but right now we are still doing really well. Our month supply of inventory in Chicago across all the categories is below 3 months, still solidly a seller's market and not showing too many signs of changing. Now I will say we just got into the fourth quarter. We do see sales tend to slow down there. So my report of the full year and what happened in Q4 might have a little bit of a change, but right now we are still smooth sailing. So let's get into some numbers. We're going to start with condos and townhomes. Our average sales price sitting right above $508,000, which is a 7% gain over where we were in the same time period last year. We also saw more units to sell by almost 1.5 points with over 11,000. So if I'm going to rank who's doing the best, condos had the best performance overall. We had just under 20,000 units sold in total. And again, you know how I do this, it's residential units. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that means condos and townhomes, single families, and then the 2 to 4 unit multifamilies. And that's what we track when I do these quarterly updates and quarterly reports. Let us talk about single families now. For single family homes, the average sales price was just over $535,000, which was up 9.6% from last year. Total number of units, just over 6,400, which was down just over 1%. So a few smaller sales there. But again, month supply of inventory doing really well. It's at 2.6 months through the third quarter of 2025. Now our 2 to 4 units, sales price up, they're just under 9%, sitting at 511,000 and some change. Our units also fell there, but bigger than what we saw in the other two categories, almost 7% fewer sales of multifamilies this year, which is interesting because if you remember back to the start of this year and an update many months ago, this year it was going to be easier to buy a 2 to 4 unit building, and you could put 5% down if you were an owner occupant. So the lending opened up, but the sales lagged behind. Very interesting. So recapping, we had about a 0.5% fall in the number of units sold this year. I'd also attribute that to some low inventory. We've seen that plague our market throughout the year, and it's no different here as we wrap up. I'm Scott Curcio, and make sure to follow and like and subscribe so I can bring you more of these updates. And of course, we are a couple months away from our full year market report to see how 25 did in relation to 2024, 2023. And stay tuned because in the coming months, it'll be time for my 2026 housing market predictions. And we'll also take a look back and see how I fared for this year. Was I right? Was I wrong? Or somewhere in between. So we'll see you next time.